Let's check out the last three. Scallop, Crystalize, and actually my personal favorite of these tools, besides that new width tool, which I love, is the Wrinkle tool. Let's start with Scallop. The Scallop tool, like any other tool, if you double click it, will give you options, change them to whatever you feel you want, and play with them, see what they do. Click OK. This time I'm not just going to click. I don't want to give you the impression that what you do here is you click and you just let it do something. Move your mouse around. If I click and drag a little bit, it changes how the tool works. So you might try something by clicking and dragging, and this one is what's called Scallop. To me, that looks like somebody who's had too much caffeine, been up for a couple of days, and is on the ragged edge. Let me undo that. We could come over here to this shape, do the same thing. Again, and I know I've said this a couple of times, but you may have no clue as to why you want to use this tool right now. But if you don't know it's there and you haven't worked with it, then you'll never know anyway. Give it a shot. Play around with it. Let me go ahead and undo that. I love undo. The next one is Crystallize. I look at Crystallize almost as a little bit of an opposite of Scallop. That's not quite true, but it seems to pull in and out as you drag, depending on how you drag, and it crystallizes the shape. Kind of looks like one of those ink blot tests. You ever have to do that in the psychiatrist's office? I mean, I never have, but I mean, I've heard people do. Is they show you a shape and they say, what does it remind you of? And of course, you always try to choose a shape that's nice and fuzzy because you don't want to get locked up somewhere. That's what the Scallop tool does, and the Crystallize tools do, is I think they make those ink blot tests. The last tool is the Wrinkle tool. We're going to use the word melting to demonstrate that one. However, you cannot work on text. It needs to be an object. So we will have to come down and select it and go to the word type and go into create outlines. This time, let's hold down our Alt key, that little secret, right? And we're going to make the tool a little bit wider. Something about like that, I suppose. And just come over here and just start playing. In this case, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to double click and I'm going to bump up the intensity. We want this one to go faster because we don't have all day. And it gives the impression of melting. Now, if you ever work in marketing or advertising, we call this double impact because you've got a word that says something and it's actually demonstrating what it's saying. There's a visual aspect to the word melting when it's actually melting is what I'm trying to get across here. What does that mean? When you read something, you're reading it with the left side of your brain. And when you look at visuals, you're looking at them from the right side of your brain. If you have a word that actually kind of looks like what it's saying, it's impacting both sides of your brain, and we call that double impact marketing. Not that you need to know that, but it's kind of fun to understand sometimes why we do things, not just how. So those are the tools, quite a few. Get to learn them, know them, because someday you're probably going to need them, especially this melting one called Wrinkle.